My mother-in-law mocked my newborn, saying he looks like a monkey and demanded a DNA test. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jennifer. I always had a feeling that my mother-in-law, Cynthia, didn't like me. She had always been very rude towards me, even when I was dating my now husband, Arthur. For the longest time, I tried my best to be in her good books. Arthur was close to his mom, and I wanted us to have a good relationship. However, I soon realized that Cynthia had no intention of sharing her son with anyone. Cynthia's behavior has always baffled me. I had no idea why she was so cold to me. That was until Arthur explained what her problem was. "I'm sorry my mom is so mean to you," he said. "I know you must be wondering what you did wrong, but the thing is you didn't do anything." "Then why is she so critical of me?" I asked, feeling a pang of hurt. I tried so hard to win her over. "Your dad is such a good sport," Arthur sighed. "But Cynthia is hell-bent on getting me. I know you tried your best, Jennifer. The thing is, Mom is very possessive of me. She has always been this way. Dad travels a lot for his work and stays out of state most of the time, so Mom has relied on me a lot for companionship. That's why she's so attached to me." "Why didn't she talk with Charlie about the problem?" I asked, referring to Arthur's father. "Dad did try to talk her into moving near his work," Arthur explained. "She didn't want to leave this city. I guess she thought I was enough for her. After a while, she didn't need Dad anymore." "If Charlie was neglectful, why didn't she divorce him?" I questioned, feeling a surge of confusion. "Dad wasn't neglectful, Jennifer," Arthur said patiently. "He did his best to be with us. Mom always wanted more. She is financially dependent on him and doesn't want to go back to work, so she stayed." After my talk with Arthur, I had a clearer picture of the situation. I was starting to get wary of Cynthia. I did sympathize with her for being lonely, but I could see she did nothing to help herself. She simply depended on Arthur to fulfill her emotional needs. I still tried to establish a relationship with Cynthia, however. She was convinced I was a temporary person in Arthur's life. Everything changed when Arthur proposed to me. Cynthia was beside herself. She couldn't accept the fact that Arthur was getting married. She became even more vile towards me. "You cannot marry her, Arthur," she spat, her voice laced with venom. "She's not right for you. I'm sure she's with you for money. I know her type very well. I bet she's using you and fooling around with someone else." "Mom, why would you say something like that to her?" Arthur pleaded, his voice strained with exasperation. "Just marry her, prove it to you." I was baffled by Cynthia's behavior. She was starting to annoy the hell out of me. I also didn't appreciate the accusations she was throwing at me. Arthur apologized for Cynthia's behavior, but I knew he wasn't responsible for her reaction. However, Cynthia's words stuck with me, and I kept feeling humiliated. Charlie, Arthur's father, was super happy for us and had a way better reaction than Cynthia. Arthur just told me to give Cynthia some time. A month after we got engaged, Cynthia showed up at our house with a smug expression on her face. I was pretty confused about what she was doing here. Arthur was home and came down to see what the deal was. Cynthia sat us down and said, "Arthur, remember when I said Jennifer is using you? Today I have brought you proof. She's been fooling around with multiple men. Here, take a look at these chats." "Mom, you have to be joking right now," Arthur said, his voice laced with disbelief. "Where did you even find these chats? Are you kidding me right now? These are not even real chats." "Arthur, here, take my phone and check it," Cynthia insisted, her voice dripping with false confidence. "You already know my password and everything. I have nothing to hide." "I know you didn't cheat, Jennifer," Arthur said, his eyes searching mine for confirmation. "Are you serious, Mom? Why are you doing this? I can see the chats are fake. Hell, I can even see a watermark on the app at the bottom." "You think I'm faking these chats? How blind can you be, Arthur?" Cynthia snapped, her voice rising in anger. "She wants you all to herself so that she can enjoy your money. Mom, so far we both have been very patient with you. I can't believe I asked Jennifer to put up with your behavior and give you time. You're embarrassing me and insulting my fiancé. You need to apologize to her. There is no wedge, Arthur. I'm telling you the truth. You will believe me someday when you do. I'll be here for you. For now, I will tell everyone how much of a cheater your new fiancé is." Cynthia said that and left. We were both dumbfounded by the whole situation. She was starting to cross her limits, and it was time to lay some boundaries. Before I could talk to Arthur, he was the one who said, "I'm so sorry, Jennifer. I had no idea my mom would be so cruel to you. I thought she would come around once she saw how happy I was. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. It's not your fault." "It's okay, Vince. Thank you for believing in me so easily," I said, my voice trembling with emotion. "But Cynthia has crossed all limits today. We need to go in close contact with her. I'm fine with her being rude, but she's out to tarnish my image." "You're right, Jennifer. We do need to go low contact with Cynthia," Arthur agreed. "I guess this is the best option right now. I will go talk to her tomorrow." We agreed to keep everything a secret from Charlie. He was a man of ethics and would have taken Cynthia's behavior lightly. None of us wanted to inform him about the situation. There was no need to cause unnecessary stress. Cynthia was in some sort of crisis, and we thought we could handle her tantrums. We would later realize how wrong we were. After Arthur told Cynthia about the low contact, she threw a major tantrum. Thankfully, I was not around to witness it. Seeing her major tantrum, Arthur doubled down and threatened to uninvite her from the wedding. That shut her up real quick. He came home and was pretty mad at Cynthia. However, he knew he couldn't cut her off completely. She was still his mother. Arthur's threats did help us have an uneventful wedding. I expected Cynthia to show up in a wedding dress. However, she never did anything even remotely problematic. I realized that her presence and judgment kept her from trying to spoil our wedding. However, she started to cause trouble as soon as Charlie went back to work. Cynthia would constantly show up at our house unannounced and try to spend time with us. She was hell-bent on breaking our low-contact request. Arthur did try to keep her at bay, but her waterworks made him feel guilty. Some of Cynthia's family members were bashing us for abandoning Cynthia, so Arthur was starting to waver in his decision to stay in low contact. However, he was quick to defend me if required. Life went on painfully slow with Cynthia's constant presence in our lives. However, things looked up for me and Arthur when I found out I was pregnant. It was an amazing day and filled with great memories. However, for some reason, we both dreaded telling Cynthia. We were right about being worried. Cynthia went nuts at our announcement. "You witch!" she shrieked, her voice laced with venom. "You baby-trapped my son. All right, you know he will never get out of your clutches again, Jennifer. You are wrong. I know this child can't be his. You haven't even been married for a year. That makes no sense." "Cynthia, people can get pregnant within a year of getting married," I said calmly, trying to reason with her. "It doesn't mean I cheated on him. Besides, why do you keep accusing me of cheating?" "Because you are a worthless girl," Cynthia spat, her eyes burning with hatred. "You don't work and married my son for money. Do you think he will cut me off for you? That will never happen. Arthur, you need to do something right now. I know this is not your baby." "Mom, why the hell would you say that again?" Arthur asked, his voice shaking with anger. "We already talked about this. How can you be so blind? She is a big gold digger. You just don't want to accept it." I was starting to get pretty upset, so Arthur decided to kick her out. She didn't stop there, though. Cynthia told everyone in our extended family that I cheated and she had proof. We did face a lot of backlash from them as well. The situation was so tense that I was getting sick from the stress, so Arthur dealt with the situation while I got to rest. Cynthia was quiet during the pregnancy. She refused to acknowledge me and my child. She even returned our baby shower invite. I couldn't believe the audacity of this woman. However, I was happy to be free from her intruding presence and cruel remarks. But as luck would have it, she showed up at the hospital right after our son was born. Arthur was hopeful that she had come to her senses, so he introduced our son to her. "Hey, Mom, meet your grandson," he said, his voice full of hope. "Isn't he cute?" "Oh my God, he looks like a monkey," Cynthia said, her voice dripping with disgust. "He can't be my grandson. I knew you would cheat on my son, Jennifer. You are a good-for-nothing gold digger. I demand you take a DNA test." "Mom, what are you saying? This is ridiculous," Arthur said, his voice rising in anger. "This is my child, your blood. Why are you being so mean to Jennifer?" "You, dear, look nothing like ours," Cynthia said, her voice laced with malice. "I told you our family has the most beautiful children. This cannot be yours at all. You need to divorce her." Hey, pause for a moment. Would you care to support us? Like this video and subscribe for more. Now let's dive back into the story. "What is wrong with you, Cynthia?" Arthur asked, his voice shaking with anger. "This is your grandson. Why the hell do you need a DNA test to confirm that? Your child looks nothing like me." "Oh, my son," Cynthia said, her voice dripping with fake concern. "If you're so sure of its paternity, why don't you take a DNA test?" "Fine, if this is what you want, I will take one," Arthur said, his voice laced with resignation. "But don't blame me when you have to face consequences for your behavior today. You should be more worried about what my son will do once he finds out the child is not his. Anyway, I will be off preparing the divorce papers so that it becomes easier for him. It's my duty as his mother to be prepared on his behalf." She said that and just left. I was exhausted from giving birth and was having a hard time digesting her words. I simply broke down and cried. Arthur rushed to me and tried to comfort me. "Jennifer, please don't cry," he said, his voice full of love and concern. "I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. I know he is mine. You love me and won't do this to me. I trust you. We don't have to take the DNA test." "No, Arthur," I said, my voice firm with determination. "I will take the DNA test. All these years, Cynthia has accused me of a lot of things. Half of your family thinks I'm an evil witch. This time I will give her my reply. I want revenge. She insulted our child. I will destroy her life." "Are you sure about this, Jennifer?" Arthur asked, his voice laced with worry. "Look, I don't want Mom around us anymore. We can just cut her off. There's no need for a DNA test or anything else. She doesn't deserve to have a relationship with us." "No, Arthur," I said, shaking my head. "I will not leave her the opportunity to twist the narrative. Her true nature needs to be shown to everyone. Plus, I need to prove myself to the people who doubted me." "Fine, if that's what you want, we will do it," Arthur said, his voice filled with love and support. "Mom needs to be punished for trying to break us up. After what she said about our baby, she doesn't deserve a relationship with him either." So we both agreed to go through with the DNA test. After Cynthia left to draw up my divorce papers, Charlie came to visit me. He flew back to our city when he heard I was in labor. Charlie was absolutely in awe of our child. That's when I took the opportunity to tell him about Cynthia. He was completely unaware that his wife was up to no good. "Charlie, there is something that has been bothering me," I said, my voice trembling with emotion. "I don't know if I can talk to you about this." "What's wrong, Jennifer? You can tell me anything," Charlie said, his voice filled with concern. "Cynthia has asked for a DNA test," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "She thinks the baby is not Arthur's child." "What?" Charlie asked, his voice filled with disbelief. "Why on earth would she say that?" "She has been pretty vile about me and the child," I said, tears welling up in my eyes. "I can't believe this, but she has called our son a monkey. She is adamant our son is not her grandchild." "What the hell, Jennifer?" Charlie said, his voice filled with anger. "That is not acceptable at all. What has even gotten into her? Where is she right now anyway?" "She has gone to talk to her lawyer," I said, my voice filled with despair. "She said she will prepare divorce papers for me and Arthur." "This is outrageous," Charlie said, his voice shaking with anger. "I am genuinely confused about what happened to her so suddenly." That's when I told him everything Cynthia had done to me, from trying to poison me to faking messages and acting like my lover. Charlie heard everything and was furious. He couldn't believe that his wife could be so evil. "Why didn't you guys tell me this before?" Charlie asked, his voice filled with regret. "It never should have gotten this far. My God, I never knew Cynthia was capable of these things. We generally thought she would change. I believe in giving people second chances. I never knew she would turn out to be a lost cause." "Arthur now wants to go no contact with her," I said, my voice filled with sadness. "To be honest, I have been thinking about this as well." "Jennifer, don't worry," Charlie said, his voice full of support. "I support your decision entirely. I believe in your character too. But this entire thing has opened my eyes about Cynthia. I don't think I can be with her anymore. She has gone to draw up your divorce. Well, she is in for a surprise." We ended our conversation there. Charlie spent a long while cooing over his grandchild. I was happy to know that at least one of his grandparents loved him all the same. I wanted to cry thinking about the name Cynthia called my child. Even Arthur was upset and didn't feel like himself for the rest of the day. Our day was completely ruined, but I knew Cynthia would pay for her actions. We went home with our baby just 2 days after he was born. However, the joy of having a child was clouded by the anxiety of dealing with Cynthia. She had told everyone that I cheated on Arthur and had someone else's child. Everyone listened to her and didn't even show up to see the baby. Arthur was heartbroken and pretty pissed as well. We did send samples for the DNA test and showed the receipt to Cynthia. She called me and said, "This weekend everyone will be invited. They need to see how much of a trash you are. Be prepared to be humiliated and divorced. I'm sure my son will leave you when he finds out." "You are seriously going to this extent to humiliate me and my child?" I asked, my voice shaking with anger. "I can't believe this. You're a vile person, Cynthia." "Oh, don't you worry, Jennifer," Cynthia said, her voice dripping with malice. "I will make sure everyone shuns you and kicks you out of the family. Then I will have Arthur all to myself. We will see." "We will be there at the party," I said, my voice firm with determination. "Let's see who gets the last laugh." Cynthia ignored me and cut the call. She was pretty excited to have me thrown out of the family. However, she was in for a surprise. We just had to wait till the results got back. Arthur was pretty supportive of me, but I knew he was sad. Cynthia was being such a bad person. The day of the party arrived pretty soon, and so did the DNA results. Cynthia had booked an expensive venue and planned elaborately to celebrate my humiliation. Everyone who saw me stayed away. No one even asked about the baby. I left my son with my sister at home ahead of time, feeling things wouldn't go down well if I wanted to keep him safe. The party started, and even Charlie was there. He kept quiet about the allegations and was waiting for me to do my thing. When the last person finally arrived, Cynthia said, "Thank you for coming. I organized this party to show how much of a gold digger Jennifer was. I always knew she was with my son for his money. Then she managed to baby trap him with someone else's child." "That is not true at all," I said, my voice firm with anger. "Why are you so adamant that I cheated on Arthur?" "I know all about your extramarital affairs, Jennifer," Cynthia said, her voice dripping with venom. "It's a shame Arthur refused to believe the proof I sent." "That's because he knew I never cheated," I said, my voice shaking with anger. "Your accusations are baseless." "Oh, we will see about that," Cynthia said, her eyes burning with hatred. "Arthur might be blinded by you, but he won't be after today. I have prepared the divorce papers for him. Show us the DNA results and we will see what he does. Prepare to be divorced, woman Jennifer. Let's see what the results are, shall we?" With that, I showed everyone what was in the DNA results. They were shocked to see that my son was 100% Arthur's boy. Everyone started to loudly express their frustration at Cynthia. Cynthia simply looked disbelieving at the results. No, that's not possible," she said, her voice filled with disbelief. I am sure of it, who the real father is." "Cut it out, Mom," Arthur said, his voice filled with anger. "I am the real father of the baby. I got the DNA test myself and submitted the samples. Hell, I even chose the clinic so you wouldn't accuse Jennifer of bribing them. You have crossed a line this time. There must be something wrong." "Arthur, you have to believe me," Cynthia pleaded, her voice filled with desperation. "This witch is poisoning you against me." "That's enough, Cynthia," Arthur said, his voice filled with finality. "Since I married Jennifer, you have done all sorts of things to taunt her. Because of you, no one even showed up to see our baby. Everyone thinks she is a bad person. This is all because of you. I don't want a relationship with you anymore. You will never see my son after today." "Arthur, don't leave, please," Cynthia begged, her voice filled with desperation. "You have to believe me. This witch is poisoning you against me." "That's enough, Cynthia," Arthur said, his voice firm with determination. "I see that you have gone to great lengths to spoil Jennifer's reputation. You took advantage of the situation while I was gone. I never punished you for your evil schemes, but I won't put up with it anymore. I am divorcing you. Here are the papers. I had them prepared while you were busy making divorce papers for Arthur and Jennifer." No, you can't divorce me," Cynthia screamed, her voice filled with panic. "This is not happening." "Charlie, don't do this," Cynthia pleaded, her voice filled with desperation. "And I want you out of my house as soon as possible. Remember that you signed a prenup and won't get anything from me. You are on your own from now on." "Charlie, I have nothing," Cynthia cried, her voice filled with despair. "Please listen to me." Cynthia tried to talk to Charlie while everyone jumped in to berate her. They also tried to talk to us and apologized. We simply turned around and left. Everyone was quick to abandon us when Cynthia accused me of cheating. We needed time to decide if we wanted them back in our lives. We told them just that, and it only made everyone even more mad at Cynthia. After the party, Things took a 180-degree turn for everyone. Cynthia was being disowned by everyone around her. Even her friends didn't want to associate with her. Family members reached out to us and apologized for their behavior. They begged us not to cut off access to our child and said they had cut off Cynthia for good. We asked them for time because we were pretty exhausted by Cynthia's antics. Charlie also promptly kicked Cynthia out and cut off access to their money. He instructed their family lawyer not to communicate with Cynthia or help her out. Cynthia came to our house begging Arthur to forgive her. She cried about how she was about to be homeless and penniless. Charlie was hell-bent on divorcing her. Arthur wanted nothing to do with her as well. He was deeply saddened by what Cynthia had done to me and our child. We took a break from everything and decided to focus on our new family. Charlie visited frequently and was a star grandpa. The baby is doing well, and I am recovering fast. Arthur is still sad about his mom, but refuses to forgive her ever. We were able to delete her toxic presence from our lives and are much happier now. Let's conclude the story shortly. Cynthia's manipulative schemes backfired spectacularly. She lost her husband, her family, and her son's love and respect. She was left alone, facing the consequences of her actions. Jennifer and Arthur, however, emerged from the ordeal stronger than ever. They had faced a difficult challenge together and emerged victorious. Their love for each other and their son had only grown stronger, and their bond was unbreakable. They were finally free to enjoy their life as a family without the interference of Cynthia's toxic presence. The future looked bright for them, filled with love, happiness, and the promise of a wonderful life together. After experiencing the full journey of our story, we'd love to hear your thoughts. How did the story resonate with you? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay blessed. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.